Hello and welcome to another episode of the SMEFocus show brought to you by FactoryNOW TV. I'm your host, Chris Greenough, and in this series we will discuss and analyse the challenges facing industry in these unprecedented times. In this series we will focus on SMEs within the British manufacturing sector. I've worked in the sector for over 26 years and I'm CCO at SD Technology, one of the leading manufacturers of pressings and assemblies in the UK. So as you can hopefully appreciate, this show is very much for manufacturers by manufacturers. My guest today is Nimisha Raja, founder at Nims Fruit Crisps. Good morning, Nimisha. How are you?
Good morning, Chris. Very well, thank you. How are you?
Fantastic to see you, and thank you for coming on the show. Really interested to hear your story. So please tell us about Nims Fruit Crisps.
We are we have a factory in Sittingbourne, and we're the only manufacturer of air-dried fruit and vegetable crisps, so 100% natural, no oil or anything. We also produce now a range of infusions and edible teas. So anything we can make with air-dried fruit and veg, we're into it, hopefully.
Fantastic. So it's not just fruit crisps anymore. The name sort of belies that's all you do, but you do a wide variety of things now.
Yes, we'll have to try and find another name for it, I think, so that it encapsulates everything we do, but that's going to be a bigger challenge than I imagine. But yes, a lot more. We started off as a fruit crisp company and then evolved quite a bit over the last couple of years.
And what's it like to run a successful business, a small SME business, and dealing with the likes of Tesco's, who I know you supply?
Well, supermarkets have been, I know they've had a lot of bad rep over the past few years, but I think since GCOP, they've been amazing, and I've been lucky to have come on the scene at a time when they are a lot more amenable to SMEs. I know they've worked really well with us, supplying them, supporting us as much as they can, and that's across the board with all supermarkets. Actually, we're with Tesco, with Waitrose as well, so M&S as well we work with. So behemoths, in the grocery industry.
Yes.
And wanting to work with small companies. So it's been great, actually, in my experience anyway, so far.
So that's a definite change from what we saw in the media and some certainly TV stories of sort of 3-4 years ago, where it was very much the big players, the Tesco's of this world, were really pushing price down and making it really hard for manufacturers. You found that a different story.
Yes, but I think that's to do with regulation changes as well, because I don't doubt at all that used to happen, and I'm sure to some degree it probably still does. But I think the supermarkets are realizing they need smaller manufacturers because we're the ones that are innovating. We're the ones that are doing something that's different, and consumers' attitude to fast-moving consumer goods has also changed, where they want somebody with a story, if you like, and somebody who's done something a bit different. So I think it's a bit of yes, it's been enforced on them, but also a realization that actually they should work with us because it benefits them as well in the long run.
Absolutely. And what impacted 2020, obviously COVID-19, what impact did it have on your business?
Well, yes, talk about supermarkets. As soon as there was lockdown, our sales suffered, particularly in Tesco, which is where our biggest listing is. Now, our products are called food, or what you call food on the move. So people pick up a packet of our crisps when they're having lunch at the office. And of course, with nobody around, no people on the move, that dropped dramatically, almost down to nothing, which really obviously was a worrying time for us. It picked back up a little bit over a period of time. Again, Tesco worked with us and said, yes, we'll do this, we'll do that. And it worked and it picked back up. It's never gone back, even now, to its original state. But we diversified from doing what we were doing, which is food on the move, to expanding our infusions range, supplying ingredients to manufacturers who couldn't get their ingredients from the EU. So we've changed our business a lot. It affected us a lot. We had hoped to double our turnover last year. We didn't. We still did okay. We were up 25%. So considering everything, that's not too bad. And where other businesses are, I think we've fared pretty well, really. So I'm not complaining.
Well, absolutely. And if you look at 2020, really, I think most businesses, if there was any growth, they would be happy. A lot of businesses decline. And as you said, a 25% increase is something to be proud of, given where we came from.
Yes, no, obviously we had to diversify, but you know, where there are other brands that don't have their own manufacturing, and this is why I'm passionate about manufacturing, doing everything ourselves. We can be more agile and we can really move with the time. We're the only ones that can stop ourselves from changing. And so what we've done ourselves, and I'm proud of our team for being flexible enough and agile enough to change in time to keep the business going, because sometimes change takes too long when it has to go up the ladder too far. But,
it does, and if you talk of bigger companies, that's where they can't be agile and they can't change. SMEs in this country, for example, your business, you can change. You can come up with a new idea, very quickly get it to market, and that's how you stay ahead of not just the competition, but ahead of the market. Yeah. And what are the plans for the rest of 2021? New products?
Yes, new products. It's been amazing, actually. I was a bit worried about 2021. I thought it was going to end up being a lot worse than 2020 because there would be a lot of businesses that won't go back. But just a mention of everything going back to normal, and we have hit our absolute record sales this month so far. I mean, even within the first 11 days of this month. So yes, lots of new products coming on board in terms of our infusions range, but edible teas as well. So, and working, mainly on that. Ingredients is going to be, I think, a big thing. We don't want to be dealing with a lot of EU companies at the moment because of all the delays. We've already experienced that. Other manufacturers who make food products don't want to be doing that either, and are having problems importing. So they're coming to us as a British manufacturer to supply them. So that's, in a way, a really good thing, and we're getting busier and busier. So yeah.
So that's really people looking now, with the delays from product coming from the EU, they are looking more to UK manufacturers. How can we reshore? And that will help grow the business even more.
I think so. And I know we import about 170, 80, 200 tons of citrus fruits every year from the EU, and we're having so many problems doing that we now deal with British importers who are already importing themselves. So we don't want to be dealing direct with the EU at the moment anyway, until we settle down, people know what they're doing, and hopefully it will be a lot better.
And those Brexit delays are still impacting business. So even though we're now sort of quarter of the way through the year, the delays are still there. They haven't been sorted, and the government need to do more to allow that free trade.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not sorted at all. But I think it's more inexperience from everybody's side. You know, something I had to order, which would have normally taken 4 or 5 days to get here, took 5 weeks almost. And that was partly our logistics partner's problem, because he wasn't understanding the documentation and what we'd already sent and what our supplier had sent. So I think it's just a matter of settling down and time. It will all be okay in the end. But at the moment, it is really frustrating and worrying. You know, I feel as if we're always behind as well, because you're fighting almost a losing battle, it seems sometimes. But yeah, COVID, Brexit, everything. We've been through it all, haven't we?
But we've been through all that, and you see that 2021, positive for the rest of the year, record sales this current month, and the rest of the year, you can see that carrying on.
I hope so. Yes, I can't. You know, unless there are major supply chain problems, I can't see that changing. So yes, I'm really excited. We've just taken on 3 new people as well. So yeah, everything is looking pretty good at the moment.
So on that positive note, we'll end there, Nimisha. Thank you for telling us about your fantastic company, fantastic product, and your optimism for the future. A growing business, growing sales, taking on people, exactly what we want to hear. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you for having me, Chris. Lovely to meet you.
Thank you, and you. That brings us to the end of another show. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to meeting more of our brilliant SME manufacturers like Nimisha next week. If you would like to get in touch with the show with a comment, a suggestion, or even to appear on a future episode, please email us tv@mtd.media. Thank you again for watching. So from me, Chris G @SDE, goodbye.